All right, what up? It's Ruben from TGE, and in today's video, I want to talk about my prediction on Apple by the end of the year and then going into next year. Okay, and this is something that you do not want to miss. I'm going to show you how we're going to trade it inside the Telegram group, so you could trade it as well too, and then also make some money off of this. Okay, but before I get into that, I want to go. I just want to go over the wins that we had yesterday. Go over what you came here for, just so I can just give that to you real quick, which is my predictions on Apple and how we're going to swing trade this, and then any Q&A that I have in the community or in the comment section. And if you have any questions for me, you can just drop them in the comments, and then I'll answer them in the next video. All right. So the wins for the community so far. Yesterday, we traded SMCI early in the morning. It was about a 15-30 minute trade, and we netted a 50% return. You can see Sewell scored about $850. I had my win here for about 45%. And then there's that video that I did yesterday that shows on how I traded 0DT QQQ puts. So you can do the same thing too. So if you want to learn how to trade QQQ puts on 0DT, there's a video for that showcases how to do that. Okay. Okay. So there's that. Now, when it comes to trading, my predictions on Apple and how I'm going to swing trade. I want to cover what happened. Okay. They had earnings uh, yesterday and they beat. Now, historically, quarter two is Apple's worst quarter, and they beat it. Now, the stock has been beaten down. If we go down to the monthly time frame, it's been beaten down all the way to 170, 168 during that April sell-off, March, April sell-off. Okay. And now it has recovered. Now, they beat this, and then in their earnings, they said forward guidance is still intact. It has not changed, and that they see growth still. Okay. So historically, quarter three and quarter four are good quarters for Apple, especially quarter four. It's their best performing quarter, probably because of like the holidays and everybody's buying iPhones and laptops and whatnot. So it's the best performing quarter. So when I look at this, there's three, four components, right? So it's, does the next quarter beat last quarter, which it should, and it will, because it's Apple. They're historically always beat. And then will it beat year over year? So this is a 1.61 estimate. This was a 1.49 estimate. So more than likely they're going to beat quarter over quarter, year over year. And then their forward guidance, of course, same thing. It's going to be quarter over quarter, year over year, right? You could just see it right here. But actually, let's take a screenshot of this so I could show you. Let me get myself out of here. Okay, so I'm just going to put it here. So what we want to capture is this quarter. We want to capture this quarter and this quarter right here, this run up, okay? And this is going to take about 6 months. I can't really type. It's going to take about 6 months. So what does that mean for me? When I'm looking for options, one, I'm going to be in shares because I want to capture this. And I'll show you why I like it too for stocks. But when it comes to options, I want to, since I know this is going to be 6 months, I want to double that so I can have enough time for this thing to play out, because it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, and I don't know when. So to combat that, to mitigate that risk, I'm just going to double that. So a year. We're going to get, we got September contracts of 2026. So that's plenty of time, right? It's just a matter of being patient. Okay, so that's how we're going to do that in expiration. Now, why do I like it? Well, we know that they're going to have great quarters, right? And on Gextron, if I take a look at Gextron real quick, here are the daily levels. These are local levels. It hit max pain as of right now, or it's near it. It's at 200. I think we reached a low of, let me put my face back in here. It hit a low of, it's pretty much near 200 again. Let's get that up. Okay, so we're practically near. We're like $2 away. Okay, which is around the zone. This is a great area to go start building a position to go long. Right now, we have about a 2% position size. For leaps, I like to build about 2 to 3%. If I feel very good about the position, maybe 4%. Maybe most of the time it's just 3%. We built 1% yesterday. We thought it was going to be a ripper, which it was after hours, but it ended up falling, and it just ended up tanking with the whole news in the event that happened today. So we just ended up adding a little bit more because we're very near a strong support zone. Okay, how do I know this? Because Gactron is telling me this is the strongest support zone as of right now. Unless this data changes, this is the strongest support zone. Another thing that I like is the unusual options here. We've been having constant calls coming in all day. Okay, look at that. It's just calls after calls after calls. We do have some puts here, but mostly extremely bullish overall. Okay. The other thing that I like is that when I look at the expected move, I'm looking at the end of the year target from where we're currently at, right? Because I just added a position around this time frame, around 202 area. We have about the end of the year target an 18% move to the upside. Okay. So when it comes to risk versus reward, because I emphasize risk versus reward all the time. Anytime, the only reason I've been able to be profitable this year and previous years is because of risk versus reward. It's always about risk versus reward. So I'm gonna here pros of here what I like about Apple. Okay. So one forward guidance strong. Okay, has not changed. Two, two, Q3 and Q4 EPS growth. Okay, number four, near max pain 200, big support zone. Okay, now RVR is really good. It's a one. No, what is it? It's a 1 to 11.8. 1 to 11.8. Okay. When I look at this stock at the moment, I'm willing to lose about a percent, 1.5%, maybe 3% to potentially make 17%. Okay. That's about what? That's like a 5x. I lose 3% but make 5x in return for the risk versus reward. So we have bullish catalysts, right? Good earnings in the upcoming quarters. We're near a very strong support zone, and the risk versus reward is solid. Okay. Now, when it comes to picking a strike, it's really simple. Because my end of the year target is 240, I'm actually picking 250 because I still think that we can actually, Apple is the biggest lagger of all the mega caps. Okay. Uh, for example, Microsoft made all time highs. Um, Okay, Meta made all-time highs. Amazon got close, but they got rejected hardcore with the earnings. Google, I think similar. It got close, but now it got some sort of rejection. Apple is like the only one right now that has not made that has not gotten close to all-time highs. So I do think that we get close to all-time highs, which is pretty much near the end of the year target, and then potentially in Q4 earnings, which will be next year, early next year, we break this 260 going into 270 potentially. Now, what I foresee here is if that's the case, and we're starting to position here around 205, 203, and we're risking about 200, we have about a 1 to 15.45 risk versus reward. There's about a 31% upside momentum to the upside for Apple, which is a solid return from where we're currently at. I think this is a good time to buy unless there's some really bad news happening. But for the meantime, I think Apple is just going to go higher. It's just a matter of when, not if. Okay. This is my predictions for Apple. This is for my predictions for Apple. I think it's going to see higher. And the only time it would get invalidated is if we go below max pain. Then we may see even lower. And if that's the case, I'll readjust my earnings. I still have another percent that I like to add into Apple, and I will see when that would be appropriate. But that's how I'm going to trade it with options. I'm also doing with stock. So 30% upside to with stock. This is going to be about. This will put the contracts. I'll show you which contracts I got. Let's see where we are here. More options here. We got September of next year, 2026. We got the 250 strike. How do I add more? All rows. 250. Okay, at the moment, it's a 29 delta. It's got plenty of delta, enough probability. And if we do hit 270, this could put the contracts at $2,800 per contract. We purchase right now. The current average that I have here is about 1035. So we could potentially be making about $1,800 per contract, potentially even $37 per contract, which would be $3,700 per contract. Okay, so I really like the risk versus reward here. I think it's solid, and again, it's just a matter of when, not if. And so the best way to play this is to just go long term. That's it. Okay. Worst case scenario is that we lose 200 and I just close my position and I'm down like maybe 9%. Okay. That's the worst case scenario, which is a few $100s. And that's it. That's my thoughts on that. Okay. Let's go over to Q&A now. All right. Q&A. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments down below. I'll be more than happy to answer them. Okay. Esther asked me, how much time do you spend trading per day? This is a good question. And this is something that I think a lot of new aspiring traders don't do a lot of. You got to think of it like driving. When you're driving, there are different scenarios, different environments. If you're going to drive in India, it's way different than it is here in the States. If you're going to go, you have icy days, you have rainy days, you have traffic, you have scenarios where there's almost accidents. You have to know how to maneuver and be reactive on different environments. And the only way you do that when you're driving is by driving a lot, And so by default, everybody just drives to work. It's just normal, right? Trading is no different. You only get better at trading by trading more. And you get in different environments. So bullish market, bearish market, presidential elections, tariffs, all these different things. Sometimes you'll experience also market crashes, and that's happens every 10 years or so. So how do you get better? You become a well-rounded trader by trading as much as you possibly can in all different environments and also in different scenarios too, like not just swing trading, but also short-term trading. Like you have to be well-rounded in all scenarios so you can understand how the Greeks and options come into play. And also this applies to stock trading as well too. And then Manj asked me, when it comes to trading options, I found that I need permission, level 2, and then need permission to reach level 3 and 4. I think they're referring to the different levels in the brokerage for option trading. Each level has different, or it unlocks different strategies for you to do. His question is, if someone pays monthly in any group, what level enough to start staying profitable while paying monthly? Do you share enough trade opportunities with someone at level 2, or do you recommend? Okay, so this is going to vary. Like if you're going to be joining somebody's group, you have to know what their strategy is and how do they trade. Everybody trades differently. I trade differently. So you have to know that first, right? And then see what their paying method is, and then see what levels you need to get unlocked. For my group, we trade long puts and long leaps. Long calls and long puts. So you really, level 2 is more than enough. Okay. And my strategy accommodates for that. So we're very directional traders and we're very momentum traders, and we just use long calls and long puts. Sometimes we will do strangles and straddles and all that stuff, but rarely. So if you were to join my group, yeah, level 2 is enough. Or do you recommend waiting? No, again, yeah. So it depends on who you're joining and how they trade, and then you can go from there. Okay, cool. That's it for this video. That's my predictions on Apple, how we're trading it. If you have any questions, put them in the comments down below, and I will answer them in the next video. Peace.